Good evening. You're going to have to speak up a little bit because you're somewhat further away.
And I'm eating crisps.
There we go, so it's probably a good thing. Now, if I have any... By the way, she's eating crisps, so if it's... If I have any critique of the episode that we have just watched, my critique is this. Moffat has so many balls in the air here.
So many. Winnie said to me at one point, I don't really get it.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's think about what he's got going on in this story. So he's wrapping up... Well, he's not wrapping up the Clara story, but we get the sort of big reveal of the Clara story. So there's that. We get what... this whole name of the Doctor, which has been bumbling along for some time now. We get closure on River Song. We get a continuation of the Paternoster gang. We get... I had another one. We get the introduction of John Hurt. So, I mean... There's a lot going on here. And you could argue it's too much. And clearly Winnie. And you felt it was too much?
I didn't think it was too much. I thought it was a lot.
A lot.
There's a difference.
But this is Moffat we're talking about, and he's just got that knack of making this sort of thing work. And I think it works. And not only do I think it works, I think that was a quite magnificent 45 minutes of Doctor Who.
It felt so Moffat-y.
Again, though, it's not... Is it a brilliant story? No. But is it the brilliant end to a story? Then quite possibly, I think. It's fairly incomprehensible to anybody who hasn't seen an awful lot of Doctor Who prior to this. And let's be perfectly frank. In order to fully get this, is this off-putting to those people who don't know William Hartnell and Susan, Nick TARDIS? Probably not, to be fair. Probably not. But there is a lot to unpack here. And so there we go. What do we have? We have a brilliant establishment of our story because we've already got these brilliant characters set up. Strax.
What were the Whispermen about, though?
So the Great Intelligence, again...
Have you met them before?
No, but... And this is my issue with the Great Intelligence coming back, which is that it's just... It ends up being fairly generic baddie-ish. I think without the Yeti, it kind of loses any quality of its uniqueness. And that's a real shame. This is the best performance that Richard E. Grant has given to the programme, though. And that's absolutely...
I love Richard E. Grant.
Yeah, and I think that he's really... You know, he's got to cement this, and he's. Let's be honest. Is there anything to cement this? It's so could be any. You could give any name to that character. It doesn't really, but that's fine. That's fine because there's so much else going on that I can't really criticise for that because you just need somebody to be the antagonist here, and off we bob. Let's make things happen. The Whispermen do make for a very eerie, scary, monster of the week type vibe. Humph has cemented the idea of the Whispermen. And he could quote the poem. He's never seen this one before, so he could quote the poem. And so whichever book that he read at primary school that he is basing a vast swathe of Doctor Who knowledge on, that is really resonated with him. So that was fantastic.
They're really spooky and creepy at the start, but they don't really come to anything.
Well, that's it, because I think...
Just sort of fizzle out.
The tide of the story and all these things either coming to a close or setting up new avenues, they do drown out the baddie, don't they, eventually? And that's fine, because there's only so much you can do in this story. So, whatevs. I love the setup with Vastra, Strax being in his fight club, and then connecting with Clara, and then River coming back. And oh my goodness, there's just... Even when there's an episode this absolutely rammed, with a companion that has, I think, firmly established herself as being... just has a weight within the programme. And don't forget, we haven't got Amy and Rory anymore. So all that companion focus is on one story. I don't miss them now. And yet, River just comes in and all of a sudden it's bloody River Song. That bit when she doesn't have tea and she has champagne instead. Oh, it's just quintessential, brilliant River stuff. And...
How did you get that? Disgrace.
Oh, she's so good. She's so good. Then, of course, after the setup... Oh, and by the way, I knew that Jenny didn't die, but I have come to love Jenny as a character so much in this rewatch. I was genuinely concerned for a split second, because I think she's just... I think those three are immaculate together. And I wish we had more and more and more of them. We don't have more and more and more of them, sadly, but there we go.
Did they not do a spin-off?
But Big Finish, of course, has done a spin-off. We could get the Paternoster Gang Big Finishes if so desired. But I'm holding out for the Jodie Whittaker ones anyway. But there we are. Right, then the Doctor arrives. And I want to point out, and this is dangerous ground because obviously we don't know what's coming in Doctor Who. It's really hard to have that. We've got to talk about this, actually. There's a fundamental issue in what I've just said, but there we go. Isn't it powerful to have this character who doesn't cry much cry?
Yes, much more so than when David Tennant's crying every 2 seconds.
I wasn't referring to David Tennant there. I was looking into the future. But there we go. I think that when the Doctor...
What do you mean?
Well, we will eventually see a Doctor who cries... One of the hallmarks of it is that they cry.
Who?
Shooty.
Oh God, yeah.
And
I'd actually forgotten about Shooty.
And
what?
Well, he hasn't existed yet. But when the Doctor cries in this story, and it's such a... And the thing is...
I think Matt Smith's acting is brilliant.
Oh, it's
Sorry, I keep
unbelievable.
interrupting.
No, please do. But I agree that Matt Smith's acting is brilliant because in the hands of a different Doctor, let's say, and you know I love him, but Colin Baker, if Colin Baker had cried at the reveal of Trenzalore, that wouldn't have played in the same way that Matt Smith does it because
I disagree. Why are you being mean to Colin
I'm not
Baker
being mean to Colin Baker ever.
You always pick on
No.
Colin Baker.
But I just think there's something genuinely affected in that moment. And then when Clara said she's coming with him anyway, and it's just gorgeous. We end up on Trenzalore. I'm doing this very linearly, but that's fine. We end up on Trenzalore, and the story is going at such a rate at this point. I suspect this is the point where when he's thinking, what? But what have you got? You've got Clara, who's great. You've got Matt Smith, who's great, and River Song. I mean, we don't get to see that combination. I don't think anywhere else ever. So make the most of it, people, because that is just glorious.
I think it's River that makes it.
I think you're probably right. And I'd forgotten just how much when we do get to the resolution of River's story and he looks at her and he kisses her and it's just so gorgeous. And you realise he didn't have that. They haven't had that moment of saying goodbye.
That's the whole point. It doesn't like goodbye.
But it's such a gift. I think for that reason, this story is such a gift. It's such a beautiful thing. But again, there's so much going on. So my goodness, let's then talk about the amazing moment where Strax goes to attack Vastra. And I just think, when you've set up this character to be a genuinely funny character, I don't think you can look at Strax. And I know that you could tell and say, well, it's kind of... You could say it's kind of diminishing the Sontarans to a certain extent. But I genuinely feel that with New Who, it's not all about two-dimensional races. You do have some variety in that. And when he goes to attack Vastra, it hurts. Because he's our Strax and he's so cool and he's so lovely and I love him. And it's so painful. And Jenny disappears as well. Oh. Then, of course, we get the resolution, or at least a resolution, because there's going to be more bits and bats to come, of the Impossible Girl story. How do you feel? Nice and loudly, please, madam, about the revealing of why Clara is the Impossible Girl.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It made sense. And I don't think I'd seen that episode before ever. So I think I've constantly wondered why. Or if I have seen it, I haven't
retained it.
Taken it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it made good sense. I liked it.
And I absolutely love as a fan,
I've got no bother with that.
the concept of her cropping up in the Doctor's life, helping him out. And I love all the... I love a montage like that. I think it's such a lovely thing to do.
Hate a medley, but love a montage.
Oh, I hate medleys, but montages are amazing. But there was... so beautifully put together as well. I mean, a bit of a technical masterclass, that. And Humphrey said at one... Bless him. Humphrey said at one point... we've got to do it frame by frame and work out which story from. And I thought to myself... Oh, mate, I don't need a frame by frame. 5 Doctors, whatever it was, Invisible Enemy, 5 Doctors, Dragonfire. I'm such a knobhead. I know, but it was lovely.
But I hope we might enjoy doing that with you.
And we will do that. But we're playing One Piece tomorrow, so there we go. Basically, or everything up until that point, absolutely fantastic. In so much as a typical Moffatian season closer that kind of holds itself together with its own sort of internal logic, but has enough of a show for you just to get whizzed along. And then, we get that drop. Ah, man alive. I remember at the time being really confused. Not because I wasn't willing to accept there was another Doctor, but it came down to the numbering, and I know it's such a fanny thing. And Moffat preps us for it.
You just said fanny.
Moffat preps us for it by having Clara say 11 faces, and that's beautiful because that's going to pay off later as well in all sorts of different ways. But just drop him in there and just leaving us like, how, what? But this idea of this name, and the name is important, and the name isn't whatever isn't the Doctor. The important name is the Doctor, because it's a title and it means something, and all that plays together. It's how, and names are how you view yourself. Right, here we go, little bit of a reveal about me. Everybody in my life calls me Pete, with the exception of my mum and my dad and Libby half of the time. Everybody calls me Pete.
So, don't repeat what I
But it's not my name. My name's Peter. And it's fine, and I don't mind, and I mention it once out of a million times when it's particularly egregious to me. And I don't want anybody to say anything different ever. And please don't, if you see me regular, don't call me anything different. But for me, in the same way that the Doctor is called the Doctor, and that's how he identifies himself, my name internally for me is Peter. And it's just a thing. But you call me what you like. Call me knobend. Call me idiot librarian person. Anyway. So names are important, and the fact that the Doctor has bequeathed himself this name, and that is what is important to him, it's a lovely conceit, actually. It's a beautiful thing. So listen, in this adrenaline rush of a story where so much is going on, and it's so easy to miss things and so easy to miss the nuance of it, man alive, just so good. You could have done this over 2 parts probably and made it work. You could have you could have extended out to an hour, I think, and that perhaps would have given that space to breathe. But it holds itself together, and I think it stands up. And that, of course, is the end of Matt Smith's last season as Doctor Who. Elizabeth, I need that list now, please. Let us do our traditional run through the season and work out whether it was any good or not. Begin.
Hold on. I started doing something else. What's the first one called?
It was Dinosaurs in a Spaceship. No, it was Asylum of the Daleks. It was Asylum of the Daleks. I already know that. It was bloody good. And it set us up with the whole Clara... not Clara, Oswin, all that kind of thing. I think one of the best Dalek stories we've had in a long time.
So the first one was called Asylum of the Daleks.
Thank you, darling. What was the next one called?
Dinosaurs on a Spaceship.
I've said so many times that we miss the romps in Doctor Who, and I think that's something that sometimes gets missed. Dinosaurs in a Spaceship is a...
Something had Queen Nefertiti in.
Yeah, but it's bleak as well, the way that he deals with Solomon. Yeah. Is it Solomon at the end? I think it coheres. I think we liked it, didn't we? Yeah, okay, next.
Town Called Mercy.
So Town Called Mercy, I did enjoy the second time around. I didn't remember particularly well. Yeah, yeah.
The man kills himself at the end, doesn't he? Or sort of sacrifices himself.
I think so. No, yes, he does. But then the other guy stays and sort of protects the town. Yeah. It's quite sweet, really, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I quite liked that one. Yeah. Then there's The Power of Three, which I didn't like. It felt like a retry of The Lodger, and that was the point where really I started to feel the whole Amy and Rory thing was just running out of steam. But first appearance of a certain Kate Lethbridge-Stewart, so it all pays off. Yeah. The Angels Take Manhattan.
I like The Angel Take Manhattan, and it had that heft to it. And
I didn't.
Why?
I just thought it was a
a bit rubbish.
Are you sick of Amy and Rory by that point?
Yeah.
That's fair. Then we had a Christmas special, and it was...
The Snowman.
Really enjoyed the Snowman. Forgotten how much I enjoyed the Snowman. I thought it was really charming, actually.
I'm walking in the air.
Thank you very much.
The Bells of St. John.
I like the Bells of St. John. I thought it was a good episode. But of course, by that point, you had that sort of like reinvigoration, new companion. It's something very positive about that. Yep.
The Rings of Cato.
Yeah, all right.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still getting to know Clara at that point. It was okay, but it just wasn't.
I can't remember that either.
Yeah, well, there you go. What's next?
Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to remind myself what that one was. Cold War.
I like Cold War, Ice Warriors, Submarines, awesome.
Yes, Hyde.
Hyde, love story masquerading as a horror story, awesome.
Love stories on horror story. Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS.
Okay, fair enough. Moving on.
The Crimson Horror.
Really enjoy the Crimson Horror.
I think you love Silurians, don't you? Nightmare in Silver. You didn't like that one as much, did you?
It left a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like the porridge. Oh, hilarious. And then we've got the name of the Doctor.
Absolutely spectacular. So, an odd, bitty season, I would say. And it's funny how I thought Matt Smith and Clara had way more time together, and they don't.
They hardly have any time together.
I know. And tell you what it reminds me of, this will pay off in a bit, Perry and the Fifth Doctor. There you go. Ruminate on that one.
Why
Anyway.
are you ruminating on that?
Because I just think that what happens to Perry and the Fifth Doctor in terms of... Yeah, there we go. Right. Brilliant. Okay, you know what's coming next, don't you? Well, no, you don't. Or do you? Let's talk about it. Bye.